Best.Podcast.Ever is sponsored by the Gertzberg Law Firm, a full-service business law firm in Cleveland and Chagrin Falls that's changing the way businesses retain their attorneys. Go to gertzberglaw.com to learn more. While you're there, check out Cover My Six, a complete legal audit of the 6 areas that most often create or prevent business lawsuits and government investigations. Go to covermysix.com to learn how we keep you safe. Enjoy the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're about to listen to the best podcast ever recorded.
Do you know when the most important time to give a gift? When you least expect it.
Hi, Molly Gebler.
Hi, Alex Gertzberg.
How are you?
Oh, I'm great.
Are you going to be stressed out during this podcast because of this storm in your basement?
No.
That's good. Anywho.
How are you?
Fantastic.
Yeah, you had a great weekend.
I did. We had a great time.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was the Gebler's, of all the trips, favorite
Washington?
family trip. Mm-hmm.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Did you look at the pictures?
I did.
Young Jacob had the time of his life.
So was it just you and
Just
young
the two
Jacob?
of us?
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, we like
You're
to.
very good with that.
Really?
With taking your one-on-ones.
Yeah, it's important to me. Yeah. Having 3 kids definitely divides your attention such that no one kid gets all of it at any time when any 2 or more are together. And so I like doing it. And I don't know, I like going on adventures. You know what I'm all about, Molly?
What?
Creating experiences.
Amen.
Yeah, you know who else is? Deby Lexow.
Yes,
We're going to come
she
back
is.
to this in a second, but that's one of the things I want to talk to her about.
Yes.
Everything, what I'm starting to realize in these 43 old years that I've been around, Molly, is that so much, if not all, of what drives humanity is emotions and emotional decisions, right? Emotions decide who you're going to vote for, what you're going to buy, where you're going to go, who you're going to spend time with, where you're going to work. Honestly, I think that emotions are just another word for million-year-old evolutionary motivations. That, I mean, this is, we can get into some old psychology here, but
here.
no, but the point is, I believe in creating experiences for the kids because that's what they're going to remember. And what I try to teach them is when you ask me to buy you something, that is garbage. That's plastic. That's going to go away and you're going to get sick of it in about 8 seconds. But let's instead use that money or use that time together.
Right.
To hang out, to go do something, because that will last forever.
Yeah. I mean, I still think of the year after my dad died for about 5 years, my mom every summer would rent Winnebago.
Right.
Now, mind you, we were 2, 4, 6, and 8
Yeah.
was our ages, and she was a single mom at 32. And she would rent a huge camper, and we would go, on vacation every summer. And I still remember those trips.
Yeah, and I have to tell you something. So many times on this trip, Jacob would take a moment to say, thanks for doing this. Thanks for taking me here. I love you, Dad. It was like so meaningful. It was so cool. So we did that. Anyway, it was just a lot of fun. We had a great, great time. How was your weekend, Molly Gebler?
I went to a wedding. It was lovely.
Good.
At the Hillbrook. And
Who got married?
friends of ours' daughter.
Okay.
The Pinketts, Kristen Pinkett, and it was lovely. It was a beautiful.
Congratulations,
beautiful,
Kristen.
yes.
What's her new last name?
Faust. Kristen and Dale Faust. Yes.
Congratulations, Fausts.
And we're almost done tiling one room in the basement, which is the Gebler renovation
update.
I sold all the furniture, so we have nothing in the house right now.
You sold
which
it
is
on
hysterical.
what? Did you use Craigslist?
Just a Facebook. It was a leather set.
Really?
And a chaise lounge. Because we went from brown to gray, and I couldn't have brown leather. That would be silly in a gray room.
So my impression of the Facebook marketplace is that it's filled with just like a lot of crap. Whereas next door seems...
Well, there's two different... The marketplace on Facebook is more general. Then there's other mommy groups or buy, sell Auburn stolen
Yeah.
that are
That's what you want to do.
more local.
Focus on the local.
Right.
Speaking of local, Deb Lexow, I was reading our crack research team's research on her, and I can't wait to talk to her. She is the owner and curator for Local Box, which is a local company. That's LOCLE, not
Correct.
LOCAL.
Correct.
Which-
That's the CLE.
There's the CLE in there.
Very clever. Very clever.
What if she wants to go outside of Cleveland? We'll ask her.
Well, she does go outside of Cleveland. The boxes are sent outside of Cleveland, but they are
Right, but
local distributors
from
here in Cleveland.
I'm with you.
But the content is.
Well, I'm saying, like, what if she wants to use content
But then
from people outside of Cleveland?
then her whole thing would be shot.
She's going to
It's
come up with a
local.
different name
Well, her whole mission is packing the box with local
from Cleveland.
items. Correct. Well, that's where she lives. Maybe she could start a franchise, and then the name could kind of switch a little bit.
So what she does, Molly.
Oh, I know what she does. I've bought her box.
Oh, you have?
Oh, I've
All right,
sent
we'll
her
talk about
box
it.
to
What does she do?
Paris, New York City.
So these are
Sent her-
thank you gifts.
Sent her box to the Cleveland Cavaliers. Yeah. So what I do, she has standard boxes
Yeah.
that are stuffed with a certain, that's a certain price, and this is what's in that box that you can go on our website and check out. What I like to do is give her. She is so creative that I like to just let her mind go, and I'll say, okay, here's my budget. I just sent one yesterday to a gal who runs the Pinecrest area, just as a thank you. I said my budget is $50 out the door, $50, and then but I want it to be Cleveland focused or Sugar & Falls, whatever it might be.
Right.
And then she stuffs it, hand stuffs it, and I trust her at this point. And she puts together and she hand stuffs it herself. She writes a handwritten letter for what you want to say, and then she puts a little heart sticker. And yeah, we've sent it to Paris. I have Emily holding a local box next to the.
And does she charge like a
So
fee
you pay
to you?
shipping, so I give her one flat rate. But
but like, how does she make her money?
I'm sure
from
she's
the
negotiating with
artisans?
all those artisans, and
I
she
see.
knows how much she. But what she did brilliantly, I think, is from the beginning. She did what it took. Like, I know she didn't make money at the beginning.
Right.
She stuffed those boxes to get people to fall in love with them, and then she started playing with numbers and product and making sure that what she's putting in the box and what she's charging is getting a. So she truly is. From scratch, an entrepreneur.
I like how she uses so her title is owner and curator.
Yes.
Right. So because a curator is someone who takes care of things, right?
Yeah,
Like-
that's the name.
like
of
the art museum has a curator,
Soriano's
right?
store, the curator.
So it's here. Let's just define curator for a second.
Yeah,
Curator.
that's interesting.
A keeper or a custodian of a museum or other collection. A person who selects acts to perform at a music festival.
Maybe
So-
that's what she is. We just don't know that yet.
No, but I think the point of it is that she keeps and she maintains a collection of things.
And you're saying she's deserving of that because of the collection she
Because
puts in the box.
exactly,
Gotcha.
exactly. I
Gotcha.
think that's very
well. She's
cool.
brilliant, and I think this is going to be an amazing episode.
Whoa.
Because it's exactly what we want our episodes to be. I mean, she took something from nothing and is successful
Oh,
now.
I like that. Although I'm not sure if we can live up to that kind of hype. You know what?
We're gonna live up to it.
you know what?
Because we have a great guest to help us.
My friend Tiffany and I have been. You know Tiffany, obviously.
What we've been doing, Tiffany.
What we've been doing is like we get excited about going someplace or doing something, and one of us will be like, "Whoa." Let's set a much lower expectation here, one that we know that we can meet, right? So, like lately, what we do is, whenever we go, like we went to Asheville, and our low expectation from Asheville was that we would not get into any altercations with police officers.
Nice.
and true
you
enough,
did. We did
we didn't.
it.
Yeah,
You
no
did it.
cop fights, and we came home success. Check that box.
Nice.
Our low expectation for this podcast should be that Deb.
Won't leave midstream.
Exactly. Stays till the end. That's right. All right, let's get her in here.
All right, we'll
right.
do.
Deb, did you just do this thing that I always do, where you can't remember if you've met someone before, and you couldn't decide whether you wanted to say "good to meet you" or "good to see you again"? Did you just do that?
I do it all the time.
I
do it all the
totally-
time. But you were going to say it's good to see you again.
I was going to.
Well, because we've met.
We have, for sure, right?
Yes, we met
Are you-
at the Chagrin Cinema
Oh,
for
the
Yes.
annual award?
the annual
Okay, good.
award.
Oh, for Alex's
And we-
big night.
Walked out. Yes, Alex's
Oh,
big
that's
night.
right.
We walked out together. And I asked you about some information of your law firm, and you recommended Meg Pawkin.
Whom you knew from that Red Letter deal.
Red
That's
Key
right. Red Key.
Network. At Red Key
Look
Network,
at that.
yes.
Look at our memories working.
I know. See, it's kind of
Serendipitous.
puzzle.
I
It's
totally
like a
remember that
puzzle.
now. And I
Yes.
remember talking to you. You were at one of those tables, at one of those stand-up tall
Those tall
tables.
tables.
Yeah.
Right.
But more importantly, there should be a name for that thing, right? When you can't remember if you should say "good to meet you" or "good to see you."
Yes.
There's got to be a name for that. If there isn't, let's come up with one right now.
Let's.
But it doesn't matter, because I had a situation where I met an owner the other day, and I said, "Oh, I've been so excited to finally meet you," and he's like, "Oh, we've met," and I know for a fact we haven't.
I think we
So-
should call it a Lexow, and I'll tell you why. Because there's Alex, there's Lexo, and there's Molly, and we can combine it. We'll be like, hey, that's a Lexow.
I love it.
I'll never
do
remember
it.
that
Lexow.
name, but okay.
Lexow. Hey,
A
let's
Lexow.
everybody start using that.
Yes.
And start talking. And then at some point in our lives, it'll be added to the Webster's Dictionary. Anywho,
Do you ever get to that point where you can't remember anything? You have to write it down? I'm at that point.
Every
I
day.
write
Oh, yeah.
everything down.
Every
Yeah.
day.
I feel
Well,
like it's important.
I think, I'm there for all the time,
So
too.
she's writing
Lexow.
Alexalamol. What is it?
Oh, see, I was going to
Alex,
say,
Alex.
I was going to just say Lexow, Lexolly.
Yeah, but where are you?
I'm one of the
Lex?
Lexes. There's two
Ooh.
Lexes here.
We have Lex
Lexo.
squared.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
Lexow.
like that. Lex Ollie. It's a Lex Ollie.
Oh
Okay.
boy, I hope this part's cut out.
No, what are you talking? That was brilliant. That may be the highlight of this entire show right here.
Oh, no.
I know.
Oh, no. No.
Deb's got
Really?
lots to
I have
share.
some highlights.
Oh,
with you.
let's jump right in. We were just saying
We were
how
just bragging about your company. You know that I have no problems bragging
Oh,
about
I
your
know
company.
you don't. Molly, you are the best supporter Local
Love
Box
it.
has.
Well-
Love it.
You're the best.
Do you know, Deb, that Molly just told our listeners at home about her personal experience with a local box?
Is that right?
A recent one, too.
And I've received one.
Oh, you have? From who?
Yes. I received one from Deb. From Deb.
Wow.
From the owner and the curator of the company. I received my own local box. I
What was,
did.
do you remember what was
She
in
did.
it?
Yes, it was pumpkin. It was for the Grove Hill film that I did
Awesome.
with R43.
Yes.
And so it was filled with pumpkin stuff.
Right.
There was pumpkin candy, and there was a pumpkin can. It was the
Yeah.
pumpkin roll
candle.
candle.
Right. I contacted the Cleveland Candle Company to get it.
Get it?
There were pumpkin cookies.
That's what I'm talking about. That's when I'm saying that each one of these boxes is hand selected.
Curated.
And that's why I always say go off the menu with Deb. She has her menu, but I always say just give her a budget and let her go, because that head is...
Well, I've got lots of questions, but first I have to tell you what resonates with me about what this company, this product is a couple things. Number one, I get that thank you gifts are super important in business and in relationships, and I can never remember to get one. And I justify it after the fact by giving myself these excuses like, oh, they don't need a thank you from me, right? But then remember Nancy Santilli, right?
Yes.
Walks in here every time with a gift for us, and that's memorable. That's memorable. You remember those things.
handwritten.
Yeah, handwritten
Right.
notes.
So
So-
great.
Do you know when the most important time to give a gift?
When you meet somebody,
Least expect it.
Yes, Molly.
Ooh,
When you least expect it.
okay.
And do you know I had someone today who was in my office she wanted to handwrite the notes herself. And while she was there, she was complaining about her handwriting. And she said, "Oh, I wish I would have just typed this." I said, no. Your handwriting is a part of you.
Yes,
It's part
here.
of being personal.
So this is my mother's
Your
handwriting
mom's.
that we made. And I mean,
You're pointing to your
handwriting,
necklace.
Gosh, that gives me chills.
Handwriting is super
So
important.
important.
And that was the second observation I wanted to make, and then I'm going to shut up about it. The whole thing about local box, about the deliverable, is that it is all emotional. And this is what I was saying to Molly earlier, right? It really kind of taps into concepts like gratitude and friendship and meaningfulness and relationship. And those are all emotional concepts. Those aren't logical left brain concepts. Those are heartfelt, meaningful, emotional concepts. And that, on a broader scale, as I was saying earlier, is what every major decision in life is about, right? And so you've created a product and a company that completely revolves around emotional feelings and decisions. And that's amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Good example of that is your company bought a birthday gift. Nellie contacted me.
That's right.
And
Have
said
we delivered it
it's-
yet? We don't want to blow
Oh
it
no,
for
this one.
anybody. Okay.
No, we won't blow it. It was Julianne's birthday.
Yes.
We know that she was pregnant,
Yes.
and I said, "Nellie, can I have a little free reign here?" And she said, "Sure." So she gave me her price.
It's Alex's credit card. You go right ahead. is what she
Exactly,
said.
exactly. Knowing that she was pregnant, I put the standard box together and I swapped out something that she would appreciate, something that a little baby item went in there, and a little hand cream for pregnant women to rub on their bellies, just to make it
locally
special.
made.
All locally made.
Wow.
All locally made. Yes.
I love that.
And that's where I find my joy, is that when I know a little bit about the person, I know a little bit about their personality, I understand why the gift is being given, and then I can create and I can pull
You just
different-
did that for me.
I did.
Yes.
Yes,
that
I
got
did.
delivered. Yes.
Yes, it did.
Okay.
Yes,
Well,
it
I don't know
did.
if it's delivered.
It is delivered.
Oh, interesting.
It is. Well, it should be.
Deb, how big a company is it today?
It's me.
Wow.
Now,
Do
I
you sleep?
say that, yes, I do. And the reason why I do is I finally realized that I needed to reach out and get help.
Yeah.
So I let people help me. During my very, very busy times, Michael Henry's aunt packs for me. So she comes to my office and she packs my boxes.
Wait, our
Oh.
Michael Henry?
You're Michael Henry. Heidi
Oh,
Krieger
Okay.
is my right-hand woman.
I love that.
She's awesome. And she comes and she works for me.
And you're all from home.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow.
My home office has gone from a portion of my basement to now my entire basement to my sunroom, and during the holidays to my dining room, to my living room, to my family room. It's just we're filled. We're filled.
And the things that you put in there are obviously, they're all stored in your house?
Yes, they are stored for a very short amount of time. Because I carry edible items, a lot of the edible items, they have to be fresh.
Right.
So my makers require a certain amount of notice. So I'm calling them almost every third day saying, okay, add 10 to this, add 20 to this, add 50 to this. One of the things that I can tell you, I can serve you better if I know further in advance.
Sure.
So, for example, if you decided in your head you were going to make your purchases from Local Box for the holiday season and you had 100 boxes, great, I can do it. But if you told me in September as opposed to Thanksgiving, I can take care of you. Because my makers, who are small batch artisans, I can give them time. So if they need to ramp up and have more people come in to help them, they can do that as well.
Right.
So
Right.
it's
Makes
just
sense.
timing. So you asked me about, do I store all these things? Yes and
Some of it.
no. Some
Yeah.
and no. Because they are fresh.
Right.
And I guarantee them that they're fresh.
How do you choose the makers?
If Deb likes them,
I,
I'll guarantee that.
Well, I'm sure, yeah.
And
But
they
ho-
probably aren't killing animals or doing any bad things too.
oh, they're not doing any
I'm
bad
sure
things
she's
at
making
all.
sure of that as well. But I'll let Deb answer.
You know what I do? It's kind of funny now. It's everybody wants to be in the box.
I
It's
love
like everybody wants
that.
to be in the box. I get emails, I get phone calls, which is great, but not everyone should be in a local box.
Right.
So the criteria is it can't be a hobby. It can't be something that, oh, I'm going to make cookies this afternoon and I'm going to put them in a local box. No, it needs to be a business. It needs to be someone's income on some level. It also needs to be delicious, very well made, terrific presentation, and something that someone would want to buy over and over and over again. That's just the product itself. But then the person that is making the product needs to get along with me, quite frankly. They need to be responsive so that if I call them and I need something in a week, they can deliver. If I call them and I say, hey, I'm in a pinch, can you get something to me in 24 hours? If they can do it, they say, sure. If they're not willing to do that, then
Because
maybe
you don't
it's not
know
the right
what's
person.
coming in.
I have no idea what's coming in.
Do they pay to be in the box?
They do not.
How many makers do you work with right now?
Oh my, I have more than 70.
Wow. And how automated is the process? Are you making phone calls for every box, phone calls and emails, or do you have any kind of ordering process?
I do have an ordering process right
Okay.
off my website.
Okay, great.
Right,
Good.
yes.
Because these questions are leading to a broader concept that I really am so curious about. You are a one-woman business that you have scaled into a pretty good size operation, is from what I can tell. It seems like there would have to be a lot of good processes in there, and you would have to have exceptional organizational skills to keep track of everything, right?
You are absolutely correct. I thought I was a very organized person going into this, getting into it and realizing maybe not so much. But again, this is where I reach out. I belong to a couple of different associations where there are people out there that will hold you accountable. There's coaches out there, time management coaches. I use a time management coach now. Can I say a name?
Yes,
Yeah.
you may.
Lisa Malice.
She's a chamber
Amazing.
member. That's
She
the only reason I let
is.
you say it.
She is a chamber member. She owns Impactive Strategies.
Okay.
And she holds me accountable
Yeah.
for my time management.
Yeah.
And we put in processes so that I can make this a better
Yeah.
functioning organization.
Just as an aside, I am constantly telling people, business owners, you have to get a coach.
Yes.
You have to get one because Tiger Woods and Michael Jordan had coaches. Bill Gates has a coach. What makes you think that you don't need a coach? We all need to get out of our own heads. We all need some objective third party, particularly if it's someone who knows how to coach in our lives, right? And it could be a mentor, but I have one. I have one that I go to Chicago 4 times a year to meet with them. And actually, he's going to be on the podcast, Molly.
Yes.
I told you, we talked about this,
you
right?
did.
Yeah, Gary
Yes, you
Klaben.
did.
From Chicago?
Yeah, well, so it's part of this group called Strategic Coach, and he's my coach, and I go there 4 times a year, and then we have these weekly calls and monthly calls and quarterly calls that are not directly with him; they're with other people. But there's a ton of homework, and there's a lot of there's a pretty well developed program. But the point of it is I need it. You know, we all think that we can do it all until our quality of life suffers and our relationships suffer. And entrepreneurs deal with a lot of stressful situations, and you're constantly wanting to grow. So you need a support network. You got to talk. Yeah, you have to have people in your life whose job it is to guide you on your business path. Anyway.
You're right. You're right.
And we talked a little bit about when you started. what was going in the box, you weren't really making profit.
Gosh, no.
It was, and you.
I think I was paying other people to buy my boxes.
Yes. Yeah, I remember sitting and having that conversation. But let's go back because you didn't always own this business. I originally met you when you were just working at a retail store at Lowe's. I think we can say that. And you were the cashier there, right?
I was a cashier. I did some of their social events. I did a little bit of Facebook for them.
So how did it transition? How did you?
Well, going back one more step, I worked in corporate. I worked for a global printing company my entire life.
Okay.
One company. And then there came a period of time where they gave me an option because the printing company was in bad shape. And I was a marketing, I call it the conduit between the customer and our facilities. So the customers would require a certain planning program, and our facilities required certain timelines, and I would coordinate it and made sure that everybody was on the same page, followed the program, and made everyone happy, quite frankly. Well, when it came to 2008, they couldn't afford me any longer. So one thing led to another. And so I left on very good terms and decided why I'd go to a competitor because I was in the company with the world's largest. So they would be in bad shape also. I decided I could do anything I wanted to. And with the support of my family, I became a master gardener, went to Ohio State, got my master gardener certificate. And during that period of time, I met Jeff Griff. And he said, if you come to work for me, I can't pay you very much, but I'll give you a nice discount.
Oh, there you go.
On all your plants and trees.
Talking
and
women
shrubs.
language there.
You got it.
Lady
Yep.
language.
So my yard is filled, and it was wonderful. But then I started Local Box, and it got to the point where I was thinking more about Local Box than I was thinking about what I should be doing at Lowe's.
So how long ago is this?
This was in 2014 that I started Local Box, and I left in 2015.
Okay. And do you remember the day or the week or the circumstances when the light bulb went off for the idea?
Yes, I do. I
I
remember
want that
it
answer,
very
and
well.
I want the light bulb when you decided to leave Lowe's. Like, what was that decision like? But let's start with the idea first.
Okay, the idea, it was 4 years ago right now, and my daughter and I she came to visit, and she and I were talking about, okay, now what do I want to do? And all my friends were retiring, and truthfully, that wasn't my lifestyle. I'm not that kind of person, so I wanted more. And she said, I think you can do something. I said, well, what do you think about, I've been doing this ever since I moved to Ohio, because I saw the local artisans, I saw the Amish and what they make, and there's a niche here. And there's a great deal of pride, but there's a niche where these local products are pretty cool. So I started sending these things to friends and family over the holidays. And I thought, well, let's make a business out of this. So I call her a professional entrepreneur. She got my business plan together, and together we got all of the legal things that we needed to get, all my licenses and that, and we put it together and up and running November 1st.
2014.
2014.
Okay, so then you work a year with Jeff. You're doing this kind of on the side.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then what was the thought, like, I can do this on my own and make a living?
I remember it well because I was standing at the cash register and Jeff and I were chatting. He was on the other side and he was asking me about this, and I said, you know what? I need to do this full time. This requires me to become fully invested. And I said, Jeff, I can't continue at Lowe's. Mm-hmm. I need to jump into this. And, if it works, great. If it doesn't work, I'll be back because I loved working there.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, it was my passion. I love the plants and the people were great. Mm-hmm. But I needed to try.
Yeah.
And he said, yeah, go for it.
So
And now they're on the chamber board together.
Yes, we are.
about that, Deb, can you talk about numbers? Like how many local boxes do you send out per week on a average week?
You know, that's a really tough question. If you said in December, hundreds,
Okay.
How many did you send out last year?
1,200.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Now, that was not just December, because when I talked
Wait, 1,200 in December or 1,200
No.
for the whole year?
No, 1,200 for October, November, December.
Wow.
I was thinking 1,200 for the whole
Yeah,
year,
me
and I was
too.
impressed.
Then no, that was 3 months.
Okay, so what about a whole year?
See, that's tough, because in January I might get 10.
Right.
February, because of Valentine's Day, maybe 30.
But that's the holiday season, so 1,200 over the holiday season.
Wow.
Probably most of it is in December.
Unfortunately, it is.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, most of it's in December. But what I try to tell my corporate clients now is really the best time to give a gift where you're saying, thank you, I appreciate your business, is at Thanksgiving.
Yes.
There's a couple reasons for that. That's a gift of gratitude. You're saying, thank you for your business. I appreciate your business. That's number one. Secondly, your gift doesn't get lost with the, quote, holiday gifts. Customers who are accustomed to receiving gifts, it's almost like, okay, here's another one
Another
filled
one.
with
That
goodies.
is
and
true. That
it
is
goes into
true.
the lunchroom, and then
Greg Myers, and write that name down. Tell him Molly sent you. Greg Myers is a dentist or an endodontist in Solon, and he would send us my dad, who was a dentist, because we referred people to him. He would send us Cheryl cookies.
Yes.
But it was for Halloween.
great.
Right, and that was his
Great
thank you for
idea.
referring. But it was kind of like you were saying around Thanksgiving. It wasn't around. He didn't want to do. Actually, he's Jewish, so he wouldn't do it around Christmas anyways. So yeah, great.
Right.
You know,
And
so
so you
dentists
remember
and
that.
referrals.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
we do.
See?
And I can't tell
You
you
remem-
one that would send during Christmas.
So it's interesting because I too know an endodontist, and I will introduce the two of you guys. But he and his wife spend like a week going to stores and then putting boxes together. And I'm going to call him tonight. I'm going to say, you're spending way too much of your own time on
Yes.
this.
Yes.
But the point is, both sides do make, like the giver and the receiver derive a lot of meaning from it if they do it right, you know? And so when someone is just mailing it in
Correct.
versus when someone put a lot of thought into it, right?
And
Yeah.
you can kind of mail it in, but it looks like there's
Right.
a lot of thought into
Right.
it. Yes.
So, how big do you want to get, Deb?
Well,
Do you
that's-
see
no,
yourself having a storefront?
I do not.
Do you see yourself hosting pop-ups where you have you pick up a box and you have a whole bunch of tables of all your local vendor people, and you get to pick up a local box and people pack their own box and they buy it at the end and it's a pop-up?
Actually, no,
Okay.
I don't.
Okay.
And I'll tell you, it's selfishly, but that takes my curating expertise away from me.
Right.
Part of what I bring to this is to take that task away from people, away from the busy people. Then that's more like an assembly line. I don't want this to become an assembly line. I want this to remain special.
So is the answer to, well, let me ask the question again, because I want to drill down on that a little more. How big do you want to get?
You're not answering it the way Alex would like you to
I
answer it.
know.
That's
Well,
that's what Alex
no.
does.
I know.
That's what Alex does.
I believe what happened, Molly, was I asked the question and then
I
you asked two
interrupted.
more before I got an answer, Miss Molly.
She said
Well-
she doesn't want to get too big.
Molly, thank you for saying that. I mean, for interrupting. I appreciate that, because this is what I struggle with.
Yeah.
This is what keeps me up at night. How big do I want to get? In my dreams, I think, franchise. I could franchise this.
just
Local
said
box
that.
could be everywhere.
Would you have to change the name?
It could still be Local Box Chicago, Local Box Nashville, Local Box Atlanta,
Ah,
Local Box
okay.
New York.
We were earlier debating whether you could go local box outside of the CLE. But yeah, I think you just answered it. You could.
Yeah.
It would be, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just because I spell it that way, it's still pronounced local.
correct.
Well, so is the answer you would like to see it get bigger so long as every local box still has your own passion and the choices that you would have made if you were making them personally for every single box?
Yes.
So if you
Yes.
could train somebody or create a process that basically takes the exact sense of taste and class and passion that Deb Lexow would put into every single local box, but allows other people to do it, you would do it.
I think I would do it.
Yeah, I think you should do
I think
it.
I would do it.
I not only think that you should do it, I feel like you must do it.
And you would handpick your franchisee, right? I mean, there
Well,
are
here's what-
franchises that
Oh, yeah.
say, no,
Well-
you can't have one of my franchises, right?
Yeah, no.
Like, people
Here's
have-
the deal, right? Our crack research team, Deb, has taught us everything about you that you don't even know we know.
Oh my gosh.
But here,
that's
but
scary.
here, but here's the thing, right? I can tell from the books that you're reading,
Oh.
and I could
shoot.
tell from the things that you're doing to market that you do want to scale your business.
How do you know
Right?
this about me?
Because we have a crack research team who told us that you are currently reading The One Thing by Gary Keller, or at least you were as of February 2018. You must have told that to
Facebook.
somebody. Is that Facebook?
Oh,
Which book I love, by the way. Right? Did you? So
I was thinking, are you on my Amazon site?
Ooh, no, do you have one?
Password?
No, but I bet you anything that we read a lot of the same books because I know if you are the type of person to read that book, did you read The E-Myth by
Oh my
Michael
gosh.
Gerber?
I have it.
Yeah.
Amazon just delivered it like within the last week.
So I mean, you'll love that book, but the big takeaway for me when I read it was that you are either working in your business or on your business. And every minute that you spend working in your business is a minute that you're not spending working on your business.
Correct.
And if you want to scale and work on your business most efficiently, it's all about systems and processes. And what I've learned from this business, this law firm, is that it is a whole lot of failing on the way to getting those systems and processes to where you are completely comfortable letting other people drive the boat. And you have it's a real psychological game.
I couldn't let
Right?
anyone drive my boat.
Well, you have to be okay with letting go, and that's your baby. That's the thing that you created.
this is my baby.
right? I know it's
you
hard.
Bet. You bet.
Yeah.
That's why I am so particular about how everything is placed
Right.
in a box.
Yeah.
There's a
And,
video of how Deb stuffs her boxes.
Really?
you know, it was actually one of my first videos that I did by myself.
I think you were going
It was.
like this.
I was. I have
We'll
been
get that
challenged.
video up.
I've been challenged to do more videos by my business associates, and I said, "All right, I'll do it." Very amateur.
So it's 3 years from now. We're sitting right here, the three of us. It's episode 450 of Best Podcast Ever. We're sitting at this table.
Can I weigh 110 pounds?
Whatever.
Oh, that was my dream.
Deb, it's 3 years from now. What has to have happened for you? What has to have happened in the last 3 years for you to look at Molly and me and say, I'm really happy with what's happened with Local Box in the last 3 years?
Pause. Do you know what I think? A lot of it is letting go. A lot of it is going to be
I'm writing this down.
hiring on the right people, which I think I've started. I have two virtual assistants.
What does that mean, a virtual assistant?
A virtual assistant is your assistant that does not necessarily reside near you. So I have a virtual assistant who is in Columbus. She's amazing.
So what does
Chris-
she do for you?
Right now, you think I do it, but I don't. My newsletter and all of my social media is done by Chrissy.
Okay.
So if you subscribe to my newsletter, you will learn things about Ohio. You'll learn
I have seen
where to
those.
go on trips. What festivals are happening this weekend. She does all that.
Okay.
You will see one of my makers are highlighted every week. She does this. She does Friday Fun Facts.
I've seen
Um,
those.
Yeah, she's amazing. She's wonderful. And she is taking my business to the next level just because of the social media. She does LinkedIn,
Yeah.
Instagram, Facebook.
So you're already
So-
delegating out things that take your eye off the ball, maybe, or that you don't have as much of a
Exactly.
passion for as.
Or my website.
Yeah.
My website is being revamped right now. And Sanita and I have been working on this for the last month, and we are almost ready to let it go. I'm going to say a week to 10 days, my new website's going to be up and going, and it is awesome. It is so fun, classy, interactive, way, way, way beyond what I had started with.
So, okay. So getting back, it's 3 years from now.
I know you're
All
doing
right.
that. You don't let it go, do you?
Oh man, it's
You're like a woman.
it's OCD is what it is. You're hiring the right people. You're letting go. You have multiple locations.
In 3 years, I would say yes.
Okay,
I would say yes.
I believe
good.
your daughter
Multiple.
lives out of state, doesn't she?
She does. I have 2 daughters. I have a daughter who lives in Atlanta, and I have another daughter who lives in Chicago.
Coming soon to Chicago and Atlanta. Local Box Atlanta and Local Box Chicago.
Those women are so into their own things right
Right.
now. Kimberly owns her own company, has multiple locations around the country.
And what is that
And
company?
It's called Sifted, SIFTEDCO. And I'm not going to explain it well enough, but what she does is she provides lunches for high-tech companies, but they're not the normal box lunches. These are high-end, fresh ingredients, locally sourced, and she rents a kitchen, hires a chef, hires city a manager, and a team, a staff to prepare and deliver these lunches.
Wow.
And the concept behind it is that the employee who can get a job anywhere wants to stay with his company because of the food. And the employee comes in early, stays through lunch, and does a good job.
Experiential lunch programs is what she calls it. I think that's awesome. You know what she should do is include local boxes in them.
Oh, my.
Yeah. I think it's a great idea. And where is that? Is that
She's in Atlanta.
That's in Atlanta?
She has 5 cities. She's home based in Atlanta, but they're in Nashville,
Yeah.
Austin, Denver, Seattle. She
The Gertzberg Law Firm should get that, and then
Well,
just
we-
let me know what time
That's
lunch
right.
is.
Well, we
Yeah.
do have staff
I'll
lunches.
be celebrity guests.
I like this idea. Jess, give us a call. we have staff. We buy lunch for our people every Friday. We have a staff lunch here, and it's awesome.
Did you hear that, Deb?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
going to tell
We'll be here
Kimberly
ne- we'll
about
be
that.
here-
Yes, we
You
will.
guys-
be.
Add us to the
Yes.
attendees. On
We've been
that.
talking about having guests
Guest
for our lunches.
appearances.
Well, the reason why the Chicago contingency isn't going to work right now is because Allison, who's in Chicago, had twins 2.5 years ago, girl and a boy, and she has a 6-month-old.
Those
Wow.
are your babies.
Yes, my babies, my grandbabies. But she has her hands full. I don't see that happening
Yeah.
anytime real soon.
Let me ask you, do you ever hear or get testimony from your vendors that your being in the local box has increased their value in their business? You know, I would assume if I fall in love with a hand cream in your box, I can look on the package and find out. I'm not going to order a whole nother local box, but I'm going to go to Joe Schmo who makes the hand cream and get my
Absolutely.
own.
Funny that you say hand cream too. That's exactly what I tell people. It's like they're not going to buy another local box just so that they can get a hand cream. But here's a perfect example. Connie Modrecht makes hand creams for me. and it's Common Sense by Connie. It's a phenomenal shea whip, body whip. And
I love a good body whip, Alex.
That's what I
I knew you were going there. I knew you were going there.
I'm blushing.
This is so popular that I actually had the customer call me to say, I just want you to know that I buy all of my hand cream now directly through Connie because of Local Box. But from the maker's point of view, I don't hear a lot of it.
Okay.
But I know it's happening.
Right.
Oh, I know it's happening for
you
sure.
should do a survey to your makers, to your vendors, and ask them to give you some feedback and get that up on your website. Because
That's
you
an
are
excellent idea.
helping grow small businesses here in the Cleveland area, not just with your boxes, but with you have 70 vendors. I will guarantee 20% of them have seen an increase from being in your box. I'm just throwing
think so.
20%.
I mean, I
because it
don't know.
sounded good.
Yeah.
I would definitely think.
I know that a Heidi Cookie in Chesterland, her business has just blossomed. But I have to think a little bit of it is because of Local Box, because I put a Heidi Cookie into almost every box.
Yes, I have. I've had a Heidi Cookie before.
Tell me about your experience. Can I take that
Please.
route?
Look at
Yeah,
Tell
you can
me
ask
about your
questions. You're allowed.
experience.
Well, both experiences. I mean, we sent. I've sent several boxes.
Yes.
But the one that stands out, obviously, to Emily in Paris was super cool because we got the picture of her holding it in Paris. But and Local Box has been sent multiple countries. Yes.
Yes.
Paris was not the first. I thought I was the
Unfortunately,
first
Paris was
international, but she then popped my balloon on that.
But was that the first Local Box to go to Paris?
Oh no, I don't even think that either. And
I
that was
had
a double
one. I just
bus.
had one to Paris, one before you. I've had London, I've had Switzerland and Ireland, and a multitude in Canada, of course. But,
Right. Well, that's not really a country. Just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Stop alienating our
How many
neighbors
phone
there,
calls?
Molly.
But giving it to Christian Siriano's office was super, super cool.
yes, yes.
So that was cool. And then getting it is, I mean, it's you just don't know what's inside. So when you open it, the handwritten card is on the top, so you don't even know yet what's in it until you read the card.
Right.
Then you read your
right.
card. Then there's the heart sticker, which I love. And then when you open it up, it's you just keep pulling out different things.
Right.
And
Well, you know what? Let me just interrupt you for a
Please.
second. When I came in, everybody was here in the room and there wasn't anybody out there. So I went through your mail room and I found something in the mail room. And it just happens to be a box.
Oh.
Now, Alex, this is your space.
Yes.
There's a box here and it had your name on it. It was raining so hard. I wanted to make sure I picked it up so that you had this without it getting wet. So this I found for you.
So
And-
you're handing me a Local Box with my name already on it.
I know, I found it outside.
Somebody
And then
must have sent
Molly,
it to you.
look at this.
What?
Yeah, I know. And you know what?
Stop it.
How did it find its way here?
I
It has
don't
your address
know.
on it.
That's because
But
Alex
I thought,
and I
well,
are
you know
always
what?
together.
I'm going to, I wanted to save these boxes
This
from
is
the
the coolest
rain.
thing.
Yes. Okay,
Well-
so I'm going to video Alex opening because I've already opened
this is
one. So
this
I'm
is
gonna-
brilliant. And here, let me just say that building on that emotional thing, right now, who doesn't love opening a present?
come on.
Right? Who doesn't love opening a
Exactly.
gift? This
I'm
is
excited for you.
I
That's how
know.
excited
This is I don't want to
Well,
tear
and
this
I wanted to
unnecessarily.
share with you some of the experiences that I hear about.
Yeah.
Is because what typically happens is that this goes into your mailbox. So you're at work all day long. You come home. You typically pull into the driveway.
Try not to tear
Maybe
this.
run into the house quick. You come
Yeah.
back out. You walk down the driveway. You go to the mailbox and you open the mailbox and you go, "Wow, there's a box in here. I don't remember ordering from Amazon." So you pull the box out. On your way back to the house,
Yeah.
you're going, Local box.
What?
What is this?
Right? Let me see. Can you
There's
show?
a card in here.
But show the inner of the box.
Oh,
I
look at
want it-
that. There's a
the
little
heart
red
sticker.
heart
There
here.
it
This is the
is.
coolest thing. Oh, I can't wait. I feel like it's my birthday.
Right. But
That's-
you know what?
That's
It isn't, is it?
No, but
And
it
you weren't
feels like it.
expecting it.
You're right.
But how does it feel? How do you feel now?
I feel great.
Like,
Can't wait to.
wow.
Look,
All right,
he's
I'm
ripping
gonna rip
through
my
the
card.
Can you read it out loud?
Yes.
Okay.
Dear Alex, this is such a thrill to be invited to join you and Molly on Best Podcast Ever. Thank you for this opportunity to share the Local Box story. Enjoy these locally made treats from some amazingly talented Ohio artisans. My best, Deb Lexow.
Handwritten.
Deb,
Handwritten.
that is super
It
cool.
is handwritten.
Stop right there for 1 second. I mean, just the time
I know.
that someone would take for that alone.
And by the way, she did that 1,200 times last year.
Yes.
Wow, this is the coolest thing. And there's a card here.
And that's isn't
All
there
right,
a
what do we
coupon
talk- we
for
gotta-
you to send one too?
Here's a Heidi
Typically,
cookie.
yes.
Okay, but yeah.
There's your
Okay,
Heidi cookie.
Did you hold that up?
I did. Here's the Heidi cookie right here. And then here's an oatmeal cookie. Oatmeal raisin cookie. Sugar me dessertery.
You know, Brittany told me those were just made when I
First
picked
of
them
all,
up.
First of all, Brittany's awesome. Would you stop?
She
Look at
is.
this.
Brittany's
She's amazing.
Okay.
Look at how cool this mug is. Oh my goodness.
Now, you know what?
This is the best thing ever.
I love all of the products that go into a local box. I love them. But I think,
Great
yes.
duck coffee. How did you know? I love coffee. I'm a coffee addict.
are you really? Yay! That's awesome.
This
That's
is amazing.
awesome.
Thank you so much, Deb.
You are welcome.
You're the best.
I know that you will enjoy
I
all of
totally
it.
will. This is fantastic.
And then every time you drink whatever you choose out of that mug, you're going to remember Local Box.
And I want you to come back on this podcast like tomorrow. if we were doing business together, I'd be like, whatever you're selling, I'm buying. Let's do
Well,
this.
that's
John won a
Great.
local box at the golf outing.
He did, yes.
And when I got home from the outing, he had all the box was empty and all the products was on the counter, on the brand new counter, which was
right.
only Local Box would I allow that. And he had all the products because he just couldn't wait to get into it and take everything out. And
I love that.
And
I just love
Just
that.
to finish this out, this is a handmade mug from R.J. Clay. Rhonda Schultzman is the owner / Mudhead. This
it
is
up
this
for
is a
me.
great mug.
It is a
great
cool
mug.
mug.
Smile.
She makes this for Local Box.
That's outstanding. I'm gonna drink this Grey Duck coffee out of it while I'm eating my sugar me dessert
There you
and
go.
Heidi cookies.
See, and there you go. It's a theme.
This
There's
is
a
amazing.
plan.
Yes.
There's not just a bunch of stuff
Yeah.
in a
Right.
box. It's a theme. So your theme is coffee, mug, nibbling on sweets.
Yeah. Well, I can't wait to eat and consume all of it
Love
as soon as
it.
possible. Molly, open yours.
Okay.
Should I? Should I?
Do you have my-
The only thing, well, I shouldn't say.
Can I have your pen?
Yeah, it didn't work very well. I ended up peeling everything off.
Oh, I'm just gonna pop.
All right, hold on.
I order all the time, so
She does. She
I'm
is
a professional.
seriously
Oh,
my
look at
best
you. You are
supporter.
doing it right. So exciting.
It is exciting.
What are you feeling right
Well,
now,
here
Molly?
I'm feeling like I could show everybody the address just in case anybody wants to buy me another local box.
That's
Okay.
right.
Go to www.LOCLE
LOCLE.box.com.
So
and
exciting.
so they have the address to send me one.
All right.
Yeah, that's what I think.
I think there's a tennis racket in there.
Absolutely. You know, another thing that Local Box is able to do for companies is to, we can put some of your products, some of your tchotchkes in
Yeah?
a Local Box. So, for example, your
Yes.
company has a mug or a pen or whatever. You tell me what you have, what you want in there. I put it in the box with the other things, and your business card I slide in with a handwritten note.
I think you added my daughter's T-shirt that she forgot.
I did add that
Yes.
to Paris.
Yes. Thank you for all your support for Local Box. I think you are our greatest fan. I appreciate the opportunity to tell the Local Box story on the Best Podcast Ever. My best, Deb. And look at this is handwritten.
All right,
Stop
let's,
it.
let's see what we got in there.
Stop it. My mother would be so proud. She always made sure we sent our thank you cards.
By the way, I loved your mother. I met your mother when I worked at Lowe's.
She was a Lowe's. She
Yeah.
was a nerd head, I'm sure. Or a nerd.
A
What
nerd.
is it?
That's right,
Yeah,
the
she's a
nerd.
Heidi Cookie.
Heidi Cookie. And...
Sugar Me Cookie.
I couldn't let Alex have
No, I would have
that
taken
by
his.
himself.
I love those. I take my
Totally
4-year-old
taken
daughter over there,
his.
and she feels like a princess every time she walks into that place.
I
So
believe
good.
it. I believe
got a mug,
it.
too?
Yeah.
We
Matchy.
can leave it here, and they could be our podcast mugs.
We could.
And I got,
got coffee, too?
from Grey
Oh, my
Duck, who are
goodness.
also chamber members.
Yeah.
Cocoa, almond, and brown sugar.
Well,
Oh, I love
that
it.
is fantastic. Look at you know
Well,
what you
good.
did? You
Oh
created
my
an
gosh.
experience.
Alex,
Created an
go to
experience.
the back.
Yes, that's what
And
it's all
puff it.
about.
Puff it like this. You go like this.
Yeah. That's to keep it fresh.
Oh my gosh, smell. Oh,
It's all about the experience. So how did you feel? You felt
Oh,
warm, you felt loved,
yes.
you felt
But
somebody
it was
cared.
just as much fun to watch him open his box as well.
Yes.
And I think that's probably what a giver feels. Although you're not there when they get it. Well, some
Not
people
always,
are.
not always,
But
Do
like
you
I'm
want-
so excited for
Want
pie.
some of this?
oh, go for it. No,
share
no,
it.
thank
So
you. No,
excited
thank you.
for I'm not going to share mine. For Pinecrest to open up, I would assume by the time this airs, they will have gotten it. Like I'm so excited to, and
Right.
theirs was something that I had to be specific about because it couldn't be chagrin focused because it's an orange. So I gave her, a whole. I still let her run, but just said it, keep it out of chagrin.
And typically, Molly says chagrin. I
Yes.
want it to be very chagrin. And seriously, Molly, I've done this for you. I would do this for Alex. Not in my very busiest times, but if I don't have something, I'll go look for it. If it's that important to you, I'll go find it.
Gift giving in general is just a happy thing to do. It's
it
one
is.
of the happiest things you can do.
Yes. Yes.
Regardless of which end you're on. So that's an amazing
Do you
thing
know,
that you're doing.
One of my clients that purchased from me over the holidays, I've done 2 years in a row, they said they have never gotten so many thank yous. It's amazing how many
Yeah.
companies receive gifts and never acknowledge them.
Yeah.
That to me, just,
You're right.
I wasn't brought up that way. If nothing else, if
Yeah.
you say thank you.
Right.
But
right.
they said since they started working with Local Box, they've never had so many people say or write.
Like real estate agents, if you're listening, this is the gift you want to give to you, the person that buys the house in the new little city, because she can get something that is that focused to that little city that they moved to. How perfect!
Right.
Deb, I just don't see how you can do all this by yourself. I mean, it's such a
Well, you had your little boy. What was the little boy's name?
Oh, I've got 2 little boys. No, they're not little anymore. They've grown with me. Heidi Krieger's son helps me a great deal, and Nick Calvello, my next door neighbor, also.
okay.
Both of these guys are already 15. They've been working with me stamping boxes and assembling the boxes for all these years.
That's another thing. This is a stamp.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
this isn't. We don't go to China and get these
Yeah.
stamped and sent here. These are hand stamped by little Mr. Kruger.
Look, it says
And
it says handmade with love next to it.
Right.
Stop
And the
it.
boxes come from Newberry. So I mean, this is all about.
She's not bullshitting.
No, I'm not. My boxes come from Newberry. All of the people that helped me the first year that I did this, oh my gosh, I was calling my very best friends and my neighbors and maybe not such
I want
best
to come
friends.
stamping one day.
Okay.
Okay.
You
We
know
can
what?
do that.
You know what you're doing, Deb? You are creating your own little economy.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Like
And happiness,
Yes,
Like,
and
yeah.
happiness.
You got
Yes.
suppliers, you got customers, you got employees, and it's all local, and it's all like sort of in this own little vortex of.
And I
Yeah.
don't care,
I love
Alex,
it.
that we're going to get in trouble for eating on our podcast because I can't. I mean,
They're
I
so
can't. I
good.
I
couldn't
know, how
just
can you not?
open this
So
and
good.
see this cookie from Sugar Me and then not eat it.
Oh,
It's delicious, isn't
Oh.
it?
Do you want
It's
some, Deb?
delicious.
Do you want some
Thank you. No, I already had mine.
Deb, we have to move on to the lightning round here.
I have a new one.
You do?
Oh boy.
Do you want to finish eating
So I'm
your
on the
cookie?
I'm on
or-
the hot seat.
You're in the hot
Okay.
seat. I'm,
Okay, Deb. And I'm sad that it's a Monday because I'll go with last week. Lesson learned last week. Because it's
Ooh.
too hard to say today. 'cause-
Oh,
Or you could just say the most recent significant lesson learned. That's a good one, Molly.
Thank you.
it is a good one.
Thank you.
Oh, there's so many. I mean,
Well, let's just stick with last week then.
all right.
Lesson learned last week.
Don't overcommit. Number one is don't overcommit. For me,
I have no
I like
idea
to
what that
say
means.
yes to yes of
Yes, you
all
do.
people. Of all people, she does.
Know your limitations. Yeah.
But again, my coaches help me. My coaches help me to focus and do what I can do best, and then let other people help.
Yeah.
And that's the VA. That whole concept to me a month ago, or maybe a little bit more, but a month ago was like, no, I can't do that. I'll have one VA, I'll have one assistant, and I'll tell her exactly what I want to have done, and that assistant will do it. And she did, and she was great. I've gotten to the point now where, okay, Chrissy, you run with it. You've proven yourself, you run with it. Sunita, you run with the website. You've got great ideas. Let's collaborate. I meet with Sunita every morning at 7 o'clock. Maybe 10 minutes, maybe half an hour, maybe 45 minutes. We cover what we need to. She works on the website. I go about my business. That for me is huge.
Yeah.
Huge. So it would be overcommitting.
Okay. Last show you binged.
She doesn't have time to binge. She's making local boxes.
She binges. Everyone binges. A TV show that you binge, or
Oh,
that you binge that you.
I can't help you there. My husband's a TV watcher. I'm
Okay.
not. I'm not a TV watcher. The only time I will watch TV at all is if I have one of my girls with me and they're home with me and we just want to hang out. And then I'll watch whatever they want to watch. I'm just not a big TV person.
Okay. Get your phone out. The last text that you sent and received, you do not need to say who it was to or who it's from, but you just have to read the text. And hopefully it doesn't say, I'm going to this shit show
Okay, you ready?
podcast.
I'm in the parking lot waiting for a break in the rain. That is my very last one.
Okay.
You want to know what one it is
Received.
before? I hope it's not to Dewey Forward. Oh, here, this is it. This is what I received at 4:58 this afternoon. Lori and Sandy love their boxes. Thank you. My my response back is thank you for your continued support of Local Box.
Good
That's
one.
all.
That's a nice one.
That's a good one.
That's a nice one. Thank you, Lisa Malice.
Deb, what's
Okay.
on your mind?
I'm having so much fun. Do you know what? I'm being very sincere. I love what I do. I love doing Local Box. Even when I'm tired, I think, oh my gosh, I can't do one more. I love it because it brings so much joy. I mean, look what happened today.
Yeah.
The joy of the receiver is understandable.
So
The
many
joy of the
jokes there.
sender, the joy of the sender is, it's so easy,
Yeah.
and that's the whole concept behind this. Make it super, super easy.
You really multiplied the whole concept of joy in a business because you're enjoying doing it, but you're
Yes.
also providing so many people with joy and
It's an
happiness.
experience. I mean,
Yeah.
you opening that was like a total experience.
You strike me, Deb, as the type of person who, at least since you left that other company to become a master gardener, are very deliberate with how you spend your time. And it has to be time that does give you joy. Is that a true statement, do you think?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I guess that's why I'm not a TV watcher.
Doesn't give you joy. Gives Molly a lot of joy. Deb, you are stranded on a desert island for a minimum of 3 months.
Oh, wow.
Could be forever. Could be 3 months and a day. You have no idea. You just know that you're going to be stranded for at least 3 months. You may bring with you any single author's entire bibliography, but it can only be one author. Which author is it?
I don't read, so I know.
Molly's answer is TV Guide.
I don't know what the author would be. I don't know who, but it would not be on how to build a business.
Because you've read those. You've read all those.
It would truly be something that would just take me away so that I could just be immersed in something besides myself and my circumstances.
Well, who's done that for you in the past?
Probably just cheesy chick type books.
Danielle Steele.
Yeah, I was thinking like a Danielle Steele type of thing, but I haven't even read one of her books in so long.
Were you impressed with that? I
I was impressed.
Yeah.
Same desert island, same setup, a minimum of 3 months, and you may bring with you any single musician's entire discography, but it can only be one musician or band. And you're really sweating.
Gotta think.
I
It's a tough one.
know.
I'm trying to guess like what kind of music she would.
What if it's
do.
like death metal?
Oh,
No.
no,
Rap.
no.
It's gonna be like
You know-
Michael Bublé or something like that.
No,
No,
actually,
Frank
no.
Sinatra, no.
Frank Sinatra, yeah, maybe. Someone that is really, Michael Bublé, yes, talented. Somebody who can sing like across all types of music. Anybody that can sing 1980s music, that's in my head right now. I've just lately, it's like
1980s
80s.
music.
Oh, yeah.
George Michael.
Yeah.
Prince?
You know, you should
Prince,
you,
yeah.
you should take the spasmatics with you. Deb,
Alex.
what processes or routines or daily habits do you use the most and which you get the most mileage out of?
Getting up early.
Ooh, good
Get
one.
up early.
How early?
I'm up ready to go by 6.
So what time do you go to bed?
I get my sleep. I'm in bed
very
at 10.
important.
I do get my sleep.
You're too busy binging, Molly.
I'm cranky.
Yeah.
I'm really cranky if I don't sleep. But now, during the holiday season, my brain is just going crazy. So what I've learned that works for me, I'm not sure if this answers your question at all. I just kind of went off.
No, I think
totally
you
different
answered
topic.
it. And now you're expanding.
I'll go to bed. I can get up maybe 2 o'clock. And it's like, okay, go into my office, do what I need to do to feel better so I can relax again, fall back to sleep. So I might work from 2 until 4, 2 until 5, go back to sleep from 5 until 7, get back up again, work for a while. I'm not good at taking naps during the day, but
Are you getting up at 2 in the morning because you're stressed out about something or
Your
because you had
brain's
too much
going?
wine the night
Oh, yeah.
before? Because that would, no, seriously, like if I have too much wine before I go to bed, I'm up at 2.
I can't drink wine during the busy season.
Okay.
Too much going on.
Do you think it's the stress of your...
Absolutely. Absolutely it is. It's those handwritten notes.
Right?
I mean, when you're writing down those handwritten notes,
Well, and it sounds like you've overcommitted recently, so that probably contributed to your stress.
a
Right.
little bit.
Why did she overcommit?
Last
Because
week.
that was her lesson learned.
Yeah.
Where you been, Molly?
Wait, are we recording?
No, but you know what? There are a lot of industry leaders and entrepreneurs who believe in this concept that, and I guess this is a tradition that goes back thousands of years to, emperors and world leaders. The last thing that you should do before you go to sleep is write down a problem that you're trying to solve, a question to your subconscious or whatever. And that, I don't know if that helps you sleep, but if it's the kind of problem that keeps you up at night, supposedly, and I think there is a lot of science to back this up, your subconscious works on the problem while you're sleeping. And when you
Really?
wake up, a lot of your clarity appears with respect to that problem that you were trying to
I'm
solve.
going to try that, Alex. And if it doesn't work, you're going to hear from me next
I do it.
Monday.
I do it every night.
I do keep a
I
pad
believe
next
it.
to me
So do
because
I.
my brain probably is very similar to yours, and it's going 24 hours a day. And or I send myself a lot of emails. I'll just pick my phone up and type an email to myself, and get it off my mind, and
Yeah.
I learned that from one of my coaches, and quite frankly, I don't remember which one, but I have pads of paper all throughout the house. And when something comes into my brain, I put it down on paper. Because as quickly as you think you're going to remember it, you walk to the next room and it's gone.
Oh, always.
Yeah.
Always.
So I write everything
I'll go
down
to
now.
the email and press 2 to start an email, and I'll be like, who am I emailing? What's yeah.
Okay, the final
This is
lightning
your
round question, Deb, and possibly the most important question that
Yes.
anyone has
Not
ever
possibly,
asked you
definitely.
in your entire life.
It's career changing.
What is an embarrassing thing about yourself that no one else knows? Could be or an embarrassing thing that you've done.
That's a really good question. There are so many things.
Just pick one.
I say I'm going to exercise and I don't. I mean, that's embarrassing. There's so many.
No, keep them coming. I know you've got a few more in the
I mean,
chamber.
like,
I think your embarrassment threshold is much higher than Molly and I.
I've been known to eat too many cookies.
Oh,
That's
what's your favorite?
yeah. To be honest with you, the White House chocolate, they're Oreo
Toll
cookies.
House? No.
White House.
White House.
is White House Chocolates is in Burton, Ohio,
Oh.
and they use a very fine, pure, delicious, rich chocolate. It's one of those things I can't ship it in the summer because it melts so quickly. But they're milk chocolate dipped Oreo twins, call them twins, are to die for.
I'm getting one tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
What did you call it?
White
No,
House.
White House,
Burton.
and they are
And
they're
the
between
double-dip
Burton.
twins.
They're between
think
Burton
Alex-
and
Field trip.
Middlefield.
I bet that's why you're getting up at 2 a.m.
I think Alex knows the double dip twins.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know, but it sounds good.
The double dip. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I think he personally knows them.
They sound like two lovely ladies. I think I want to meet them. This has been a spectacular episode.
So what's
Deb.
next for you? Is that the last
Yay.
question we asked?
What's
Yeah.
next?
What's everyone working on?
What's everyone working on?
Yeah.
Oh, right now it's the website.
That's exciting.
I'm
That will be up
so
when?
excited. I'm hoping it will be up in 1 week.
Okay.
I would say a week from today would be my goal. I have to talk to Sunita to see if she agrees with me.
So this will be perfect timing because when this drops, I would think that you'd have the new website up.
Oh, that would be
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be
great.
very
That would
Which
be
exciting.
people
great.
again we will.
Yes.
It's www.locle.com.
Box.
Box.
LOCLE.
LOCLEBOX. And this is very deliberate that the website is going up now because as I'm talking to more and more companies, go to my website. The website's fine now, but I'm really proud of the new one and it has so many more things on it. So as I talk to these companies and I tell them to go to the website, I'm going to have something to be really proud of.
I love that. I love that.
Molly, what are you working on?
Well, I'm very excited to announce
Ooh.
that the popcorn shop is going. I'm going to have my own bag of popcorn.
Is
at the
that
popcorn shop.
right?
Yes.
Oh my
Yes.
goodness.
Congratulations.
Yes, it's called. Maybe it'll get in local box.
Oh,
I bet it will.
It's called the Molly Mix, and it was inspired by a popcorn that my family, when we were younger, Shaker Heights. There was a place called Gray Drug, and my or J Drug, Gray Drug. I don't know, J Drug, maybe J Drug. And my grandma would give us each $1, and we'd go down to J Drug, and we would buy this colored popcorn because it's colored, which is out now, but it's flavored. And ours was never flavored. Ours was just sugar coated, colored popcorn. So I think for about a year now, we've been on the search for this colored, unflavored popcorn. And we found it finally in Utah and bought it and then brought it back and talked to Dewey to see if they could make it. And they feel that they've got the perfect recipe now. And they wanted to ask if I would mind if they called it Molly's Mix, which obviously I don't mind at all. So I'm super excited about that. And I'm super excited that tomorrow I'm meeting with my editor for my book. So that should be coming out.
Yay.
It's just a children's book. It's not my
just a
story yet because
It's
my
not just
story's
a
not
Wait,
done.
a children's book.
Yes.
Molly.
Yes.
I need a children's book for Local Box.
Wait until I can't tell what it's about. I will tell
Okay,
you off
okay.
air, but it will be perfect. I think
Oh my goodness! Look at this.
Oh my gosh,
making
that's
deals.
so
Because
exciting.
it's very local.
Good for you, Molly.
Yep. And Alex, you.
So, two little announcements. One is we just hired another lawyer. His name's Chris Zierke.
I saw
He's amazing.
that.
You're going to want to talk to him, Deb, because in addition to being a contract transactional attorney, he is a franchise lawyer.
Oh.
Yeah. He represents franchisees and franchisors.
Does this make the Gertzberg Law Firm the largest law firm in Chagrin Falls?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Yeah. He is amazing. We try very hard to only hire attorneys who have either owned their own businesses or served as in-house counsel inside of a corporation so that you can bring to every matter the experience that the client is having, right, as a business owner.
And when somebody comes to you and they have a specific problem, is there specific attorney? Like I know you always say Meg for
Estate planning.
estate planning. So does each one of your attorneys have a specific specialty?
They have an expertise. They have a focus. Concentration. The Supreme Court of Ohio says you can't use the word specialist without getting their certification. But Chris is... he definitely concentrates in franchise law and contracts and negotiating deals. But the thing is, Chris has not only worn both hats, that of lawyer and an in-house person. He has worn the hats of being a business owner and an in-house lawyer. He owned his own Jimmy John's franchises. 4 of them, I think it was. And was general counsel for a company and worked at KeyBank as an in-house counsel.
Wow.
He is the catch.
I got his invitation.
Yeah, you're gonna want to talk to him.
I mean, not his invitation.
You got his announcement.
Announcement, yes.
Yeah, he's amazing. He's amazing. And the other thing that I have to announce is that we here.
You're pregnant.
Yes, I'm 4 months. I'm 4 months in.
You look great.
We here, Molly and Deb, feel really strongly about dementia research, and so we made the decision, partly because of our good friend Jean McKesh, but also because of someone that. Nellie knows, named Dr. Cameron Camp, that $25 out of every estate plan that Meg Pawkin does is going to go to dementia research. So,
I love that.
Yeah, so those things add up, and she does, dozens of them,
That's
per month sometimes.
Did this start last week?
We just started it. Yeah.
Did you donate, Deb?
I
Did you get an estate
did.
plan?
Yes.
Yeah, you did. Then you're.
And I just paid my bill on Friday,
Look
or
at
you
that.
received it on Friday.
You,
that's great.
You have now
Thank you.
contributed
My
to
heart is
solving
warm.
the problem of dementia.
I love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
I love
and
that.
it's one of those things where it's kind of like what we've been talking about. It's one of those things where the machine goes. We are going to be giving more boxes and doing more estate plans, but over time, those dollars turn into hundreds and thousands of dollars that we can do our small little part in
Absolutely.
helping a problem get solved.
I am personally touched by it, so that's wonderful.
Yeah, most of us are.
And
That's
it's
the
growing.
thing. Most people have something like that in their family.
sure.
And so
For sure.
yeah.
That's awesome.
This has been an amazing podcast.
This has been a great podcast.
Loved it.
And it's not because we got local boxes. I mean,
But that was a big
kinda
part
is,
of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yes.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for the
Thank you for
invitation.
coming.
I'm
Thanks for
coming,
I'm
Deb.
delighted to be here.
Oh, we're happy
It was so
have
fun
you.
to share the
See?
story, and share a little
Well,
bit of the treats with you.
Well,
I
thank you
can't
for
wait
that.
to watch you grow. And 3 years from now, we're going to have you back. Hopefully not, we won't wait 3 years, but I'm fully expecting to watch the journey happen and scale
We
up and
remember
grow
her
over the
when.
next 3 years. Yeah.
Yeah,
Remember
that's
when Deb was just one location out of her house,
Yeah.
working by herself with a couple. Yeah.
A what's? V.
Oh,
VAs.
VAs,
She had a
virtu-
couple
VAs.
VAs.
virtual assistants.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Now she's got
Real
an office in Dubai. I mean,
Yeah.
Wow.
all right, kids.
Thank
Love
you.
it.
Yeah, here, listen,
Yes.
listen, kids at home.
Yes, Al.
If you've listened this far, thank you.
Yes.
And do one more thing for us, but mostly
Yes.
for Molly, not for me, and also
Yes.
for Deb.
Yes.
Go to our Facebook page for the best podcast ever, and then hit the like button. And if you want to get some extra credit, go to thebestpodcastever.com and click on the subscribe button. And if you do those things, then you will get a really cool reminder once a week of who is on our podcast and that the new episode has dropped. And you're going to be very happy.
And you're going to
that
get
you
a
did.
free coffee mug from Alex Kurtzberg.
Eesh,
No.
let's not get crazy. I mean, I'm expecting like hundreds of people.
We'll buy the coffee mugs
Yeah.
if we get them, Alex.
All right. But do that because you want to be in the know.
Yes.
You don't want the FOMO. You want to be in the know
Right.
when we drop a new episode because they are getting better and better, as Deb now can attest to.
Yes.
This is one of my favorites officially.
Oh my,
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you, Deb.
Thank you.
All right,
Thanks,
kids.
Alex.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks,
Thanks, Deb.
Deb.
Thanks,
Have a
Molly.
great one.
Later.
All right, bye.